Welcome to the Badlands of Montana. It's a nice balmy 20 degrees out. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I figured this would be a good time to put my first rounds through this High Point Model C9. I have reloads for my father-in-law. They are once fired PMC Winchester or Federal brass with Hornady 115 grain hollow point slugs. I'm not going to post the actual load recipe. If you want to have information on various 9mm loads, feel free to look up an official loading manual and get your information from them. My initial target is going to be a 25 meter zero target, which is meant for the M16A2, but I have it set at 7 yards. And this should be a good target to use for my initial firing and zero of the High Point. My first 10 rounds out of this High Point C9 went off without a hitch. I'm not really pleased with the grouping. There's a lot of vertical stringing here, and that's just due to me. I'm not used to the trigger. I'm not used to shooting a High Point, so I just need some more training and trigger time behind it. It's pulling a little bit to the left, so I'll adjust the rear sight accordingly and put another few rounds downrange. Just adjusted my sight, so here's round 2. Still at 7 yards. Failure to go all the way back into battery on that one. Here's round 2 results, still at 7 yards. Pulling a little bit over. There's still a couple shots pulling to the left. I think that's just me, not so much the gun. I might make one more slight windage adjustment to the rear sight, but I think I'm getting pretty close. Still at 7 yards, going for round 3. Here is my round 3 results. I think I'm sighted in good. My accuracy isn't the greatest. There's the palm of my hand for reference. I can certainly tighten that up a little bit, but it's not bad for 7 yards. I just need to get a little bit more trigger time behind it just to get reacquainted with the high point trigger and just the feel of the gun. But there it is. I think I'm getting pretty much right on where I need to be. I'm not going to do any more adjustment to the sights until I get more trigger time behind it. My initial impressions of this gun after shooting it at the range here is overall pretty good. Like a typical high point, it's a little stiff. You probably noticed in the video there were a couple times where it didn't quite want to go into battery. And I've experienced that before with other high point handguns. It's just a matter of breaking the gun in and putting some rounds down range. Once you shoot it a little bit, it's going to loosen up. This is certainly not the only brand of gun that has that issue. There are other brands out there that the manufacturer specifically tells you to shoot it and break it in a little bit before you consider it reliable. So I'm overall pleased with how this gun shoots. I have had no failure to ejects or failure to feeds other than just a little bit of hesitation to go fully into battery. Again, it's just a stiff gun, and these were the first rounds put through it. So overall, it's not a bad $150 spent, and I can tell I need a little bit more trigger time. The group size at 7 yards is pretty acceptable. I'm certainly not trying to say that I'm a horrible shot with this gun, but I can certainly do better. So with that said, hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully this given you a little bit of insight on the typical accuracy right out of the box of a high point model C9.